Hi, this is Lee Harrington, and I'm here with my two friends Grant Szabo and Sham Shawari, and we are going to discuss reporting on a ragged hierarchy where you want the revenue for a manager, his direct reports, their direct reports, uh, throughout the company. And so what we have here right now, we have the existing employee table. So we have three employees that we're going to pay attention to. We have Michael Bates. We're going to make him the prime manager. Kyle Becker is going to be his direct report, and Caitlin Bell is Kyle's report. So we create a relationship table that has the manager ID and the employee ID. So of course, a manager is just an employee. It's the employee ID of the manager. So in this case, Michael Bates is employee one, so his manager ID is one. You have to have a record for himself, so 1-1, and then the relationship level is 0 for yourself, 1 for the people who report to you, 2 for people who report to you, etc. So in this case, we have one record for Michael Bates himself. We have one record for Kyle Becker, who reports to directly to Michael Bates, and then we have one record for Caitlin Bell, who is 2 away because she reports to somebody who reports to him. And then we have the record for Kyle Becker himself, so his ID is twice, and then the relationship level is 0. Caitlin Bell reports to him, so we get a record for that. So his ID is 2, hers is 3, the relationship is 1. And then she doesn't manage anybody, and so you still have to have a record for her related to herself at 0. So if we bring over to our MicroStrategy, and we have the employee sales. So we know this is how much the employee has sold himself. So he's got this much revenue. Kyle, who reports to him, has 500,000, and Caitlin, who reports to Kyle, has 1,000,000. So all three of these together are what we want for Michael Bates. And for Kyle Becker, his numbers should be his and hers combined. And for Caitlin Bell, we have just her own. Grant, have I summarized where we wanted to go correctly?
You have, absolutely perfectly.
Okay, so we bring in our table. We brought it in through the warehouse catalog, and so we have a table, and we named it. I didn't do a good job of naming it MicroStrategy well, but I call it the manager-employee relationship, and it's just go to physical view. It's our manager ID, employee ID, and relationship level. The magic comes in. Here's a step that people might not think. Both a manager and employee are employees. Okay, so we took the employee table, we created a table alias, and called it Lookup Manager Lee because there was already a Lookup Manager. This is the MicroStrategy tutorial database. So we called it Lookup Manager Lee. It's just an alias of Lookup Employee. It's the same table, but it's an alias. When we went to create our manager, so we're creating an attribute I called it manager alias, but we mapped the ID to that lookup manager Lee alias table. So that's where he lives. Okay, and then we also mapped it to the manager-employee relationship table. So this manager alias lives in the lookup manager Lee, but it's also living in the manager-employee relationship. And you got to be real careful.
Relationship table.
Right. Be real careful not to do the automatic mapping, because if you do that, it's employee ID is going to map to all kinds of places. So you really want to make sure you do manual, and you're controlling it. So now we have a manager and we also create the relationship level. This is another part of the magic, because what we want is the manager to have to go through the relationship table to get to everywhere else. So we have an attribute called relationship level. It maps only to that relationship table, manager-employee relationship. And here's the magic. The child of relationship level is the existing employee attribute. And the parent of relationship level is that new manager alias we created. So now we have manager is parent of relationship level, which is parent of employee. And that's how that, repeat and re-listen to this part of the recording, because that's how this works. And so if we bring up manager employee sales, is a report I created where I have manager, employee, and revenue. As you can see, we have Michael Bates. We got his record, we got his direct reports record, and we got the direct report of his direct reports record. And then for Kyle, we just have himself, his direct report, and for Caitlin Bell, we just have hers. If we drop this out, get rid of employee, we're going to get Michael Bates has 2.6 million in revenue, including his revenue and all his reports. Kyle has 1.5, and Caitlin Bell has just herself. And that will work through the whole hierarchy. So part of the magic is that you got to create a relationship table that has every pairing. This has got to be done by the ETL team. They got to write a recursive script to build this. And for other reasons, relationship level. If 0 always represents your relationship to yourself, and 1 then is your direct reports, then you can also do reporting like give me his. Let's say you were in a multi-level marketing company, and you wanted to give credit for your sales and say 2 levels down. Well, you can do that because you can say where relationship level is between 0 and 2. You can also do the whole company. So. This relationship level is not about relationship in the company. This guy's a VP, this guy's a director. Those are concepts unrelated to what we're talking about. This is merely manager to employee, 0's for yourself, 1 is 1 level down, and so on. So that's one important part of the magic. And the other one is, I guess there's 3 parts. The other one is doing an alias of your table, of your employee table, so that manager and employee are both employees, and yet you can treat them separately. So that's called a role attribute, and there's another way to do role attributes, but this is the explicit way, and I like being in control. So my lookup manager is actually an alias of lookup employee. And then the final piece of the magic is to make sure when you're doing your mapping, your relationship level, that's by having that, you can, setting up the manager to be the parent of this relationship level, and employee to be the child. That is what controls. Every time you use manager, it goes through the relationship to get to employee, and then from employee, you have all your normal relationships to revenue and every other metric you have. And that is it. Good luck, my friends.
Fantastically.
All right, let me start my recording here.